Alright, y'all, welcome back to the Hallowcraft channel, and I'm back on my BS. It is mid to late August, and the spooky season is starting. So these are Dollar Tree items, and I wanted to show them off because Dollar Tree has upped their game in the last year. So if you haven't noticed, they're now offering items that are more expensive than $1. It started at like $1.25. They've changed all their prices, but now some of the Dollar Trees will have full $10 and below sections. So that's where these new items have come into play, and they have a ton of really cool craft items now that compete with Hobby Lobby and Michael's, I would say. And they still have their traditional $1 or $1.25 section with all the items like this. Sorry, I'm in my kitchen right now. See, everything is now $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. And then you have these items, which are $5, but they still have that like tried and true value stuff. But I do like the value of the $5 items because you could find some really cool stuff. And this stuff is like, man, it's just way better than going to a dedicated party store like you used to. You get all sorts of wacky stuff. They had like little doll houses or haunted mansions and really everything you could think of. But I went through and picked my two favorite items, which obviously were the misters. These things are just really neat, and I'll make sure to show them off at night, or in a dark room rather. But yeah, so we got the Mist Maker Lighted Skull and the Mist Maker Lighted Cauldron, and I think these are the two best values right now at the Dollar Tree as far as like props and like really cool items that you could display on your desk or your take with you. They're obviously smaller, so that's my hand, and my hand is pretty big, but you could put it on your desk. This is a venti, so you could scale that. Pretty decent quality, and these misters are, they're not super cheap by any means if you were just to get the mister alone. And these are just items that you could add to your collection to display all year because they're so small. It's kind of just like an oddity value. And they also had more misters of different kinds. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know they had a bigger cauldron that had bubbles, and they also had a couple other misters. I think maybe one of them was like a haunted house and a pumpkin, I believe. But these two I feel like were the most impressive because of just the look of them and how cool you could really make these over into some really cool props, which I'll probably end up doing. This one's powered by USB-C. This one is also powered by USB, but the end has just the standard DC connector on it. And right now I'm actually powering them off of this charging brick with 2 plugs in it. This one stays the same color, and this one kind of alternates through just like most of the cauldrons. This one, I will say, I thought was broken at first because none of the mist came out, but I actually just opened this, or took this splash guard off and jiggled this atomizer here, and it started working. So if you have issues with this cauldron, just go ahead and give this a little wiggle, and don't fill this up past the max line, because where it's at right now is about the max fill. I overfilled it, so I'm wondering if that might have done something to the atomizer in there. But yeah, I gotta say this cauldron is probably the best value. I mean, if you know anything about like Halloween props, you'll know that the cauldrons are always pretty difficult to find. And the fact that they have these at the Dollar Tree, mind you, this is mid to late August, and they were already out of most of these. These were pretty much ran through. There was only like 1 or 2 of them left. This skull was also kind of ran through, and I didn't see any more of them. It was just like one of the last ones sitting on the shelf. And with Dollar Trees, you never know if they're actually going to order more stock. In my experience, they typically don't order more Halloween stock, especially with these like very specific items. So although I only wanted the Cauldron, I knew that if I passed up on the lighted skull, it probably wasn't going to be there next paycheck. So I went with both of them to show them off, and I think they're a really good value. I mean, really cool items. So let me go ahead and pause the video, and I'll put them in a spot that shows them off a little bit more. So here they are in the darkness of the bathroom. I know it's not the greatest spot to show them off, but they're very cool and put off a lot of presence for what, you know, how small they are. I mean, you can see behind it, there's a small hand soap dispenser, and they're just a little bit bigger. So I'd probably, with the skull, go ahead and do something like make it more realistic, kind of give it a browning effect and make it realistic. And with the Cauldron, it's really, I mean, the Cauldron's pretty much set. It's kind of awesome. You don't have to do anything with that. But the skull, yeah, I'd maybe give it some more realism, and that way I could display it all year. But even if you didn't want to, I mean, look how cool that is. Let me go ahead and turn the Cauldron off so you can see the skull by itself. Now the skull has a lot smaller of a water tank in it. It says it could run for 4 hours, I believe. But you can see how it doesn't put off a ton of mist. So pretty cool that it'll just run, and it's USB, so you could plug it into your computer if you wanted to. If you like have a desk at work that has a computer, I don't think this is gonna spill or anything. It's just gonna sit there on the desk and give really cool vibes. I probably will be bringing this guy to my work. The Cauldron, since it's open, I wouldn't do that with, but let's plug in the Cauldron and see how it looks without the skull there. I mean, look at that. That is freaking cool. I mean, it's a great value for $5. Like I think the Target version of this, that's like a full size one, I think it was like $50. And if you're in like an apartment, like this is the perfect size to just set off the Halloween like season and have a really cool, just unique piece to put as a centerpiece for your Halloween decorations. You could obviously clean up the wires. I just want to display this stuff quickly for you guys, but yep, that's it for these two pieces. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I know the channel was kind of dead this last year, but maybe I'll keep it going through this season and see how much interest it gets. Again, this is the Dollar Tree lighted skull, misting lighted skull, and the misting lighted Cauldron. So $10 for both of those. That is an insane deal. Go check out your Dollar Tree. I think they call it the super section or something, but they have higher value but still cheap items that you really can't just go into a store and get this stuff. I mean, these are like Amazon exclusives just like a couple of years ago, and now you could go into Dollar Tree and get them. So pretty cool. Just thought I'd share, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya.